How do we tackle knife crime culture?
Me being someone who's carried a knife, been involved in knife crime, used one, had one used against him, seen it, lived it, wore the t-shirt, folded it up, put it in the bottom of the drawer and never want to get that t-shirt back out again. I had children from young. That was a big game changer for me, as well as looking at my friends and my peers and people around me. A lot of people go into youth offenders, a lot of people go into prison. Just looking at everyone as if I was outside of a fishbowl. And I think this fishbowl example I've used with young people before, and when they take themselves and look into the fishbowl, they realise what I realised. You look in that fishbowl, and inside that fishbowl is the community you're in now, the things you're doing now, the people you're doing it with, and the people who aren't doing what you're doing. Now look at the paths that the people who aren't doing what you're doing and focusing on a more legitimate path. Look at the paths they're going down and the successes they're having and that influencer lifestyle that everyone's seeing. They've got nice cars, they've got nice houses, they've got a good job, nice family. People that are involved, they're still stood on the corner for £80 a day. They're still having to cover their face everywhere they go. They can't even go to the fun fair with their nephews because that fun fair's in the next area that next man are in, and and so-and-so's gone prison. His mom died while he's in prison, and now he didn't even get to go, he's gone to the funeral, but he didn't get to see his mom say bye or nothing like that. You now look in that fishbowl and say, all right, do I want to be there or do I want to be there? And I can guarantee you 9 times out of 10 they'll go to this path. And for the 1 time out of 10 they want to go to this path, that's where further support is needed now. Yeah. Youth workers like yourself, like me, like the SERVE programme. All these programmes have a big part to play in stopping knife crime because it's lived experience. People like myself who have been involved going and speak to young people. It's not too late to turn it around because that's another very bad misperception. Young people are like, but it's too late now, I've already stabbed someone, it's too late now, I'm already shot in, it's too late, I'm involved. No, it's never too late because I was there. I was doing that. In fact, I've probably done better things than some of the youth I'm speaking to. Yet, now look at me, I'm here deterring it.
You spoke about environment, changing your environment, changing your circle. It's a hard thing, changing some of your friendship groups.
It's hard.
Mindset is something that came out. How do you get that mindset that's positive? And that might be around role models. How do you attach yourself to role models? You mentioned organizations like Solve, like Birmingham Says No. But you also spoke about this idea about resilience and this idea that young people have to find something within them to be able to fight against the peer pressures and the challenges. Because there are going to be young people that watch these things, as we've said earlier on, that are watching this thinking, you're saying that, but, and that massive but's essentially.
So if I break it down for them, so the 3 tips I got for young people trying to get out. Tip 1, find your purpose and your reason. For me, it was my children, but it don't always have to be your children. It can be, you want to get your mum a better place to live. You want your dad to live somewhere better. You have to find your purpose and reason for being here, what you want, why you want to do, why you want the change. Number 2, the fishbowl. If it's the good path, now you need to implement it. And that's what stage 3 is. Implement your idea. Give yourself your dream. Make your plan and follow it. Don't give yourself a time, just give yourself a target and steps and take them steps. So that's my top 3 to getting yourself out of the cycle.
Yes, Nikita, I guess from your, personal perspective as someone that's gone through an experience, with your family, when we're talking about how do we change this culture of knife crime, what's the thing that comes for you?
For me, I think there needs to be honesty about, the glamorization of it. It's not all, so cool. It's not all, I'm going to shank this person up. If you go and you stab someone and you kill them and you're in jail and you're sitting there every night alone and you have to reflect on what you did, you might put on this front to the world that, you don't care, but trust me, you do, because we're all human at the end of the day. And then when you, eventually, if you even do come out, you're going to be miles behind everybody. Do you really think people are going to want to employ somebody who's murdered somebody? Or every time, you try and get a job or something, your DBS is going to come back as a murderer and you're not going to get a job. Your life will be so difficult, and there's real consequences behind it, not just for you, but for the people involved, like the victim's family, even your own families. You're causing problems, so many problems for your own families. And I think that's where, we need to really be honest with ourselves and with our young people that, it gets to a point where you can turn it around, but it also gets to a point where, I'm sorry, but you can't. You are genuinely just going to be labelled a murderer.